You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming.
There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fucking fight back.
You ain't gonna make it, you ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give a damn, you're not thinking straight, kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just faking. Nah, I don't wanna hear it anymore, I don't wanna hear it anymore. All these fucking thoughts, they are not what I need anymore. I'm about to shut the motherfucking door on all you poor ass haters with your heads in the clouds, talking out loud so proud. You better shut your goddamn mouth before I do more speak out. It's about to head south.
You're never gonna make it. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fucking fight back.
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to Sixers Alert episode 7, and I'm here with my guy Marcus, and we're here just to talk about the troubles of the Philadelphia 76ers so far. I mean, it is so difficult. We got a lot to cover. How you doing, man? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right, brother. How you doing, man?
I've been doing better ever since I have to talk about the Sixers again.
Yeah, we took a break, you know what I'm saying? It's been a nice good break, you know, with everything else going on in sports, but the 76ers from my standpoint, you know, I think we just in the middle of nowhere at this point, man. But be grateful it's not the Magic, you know, somewhere like, you know, what's another team out there? The Hawks.
Yeah.
You know, but I think we have one final year to try to do something. And then we might have to be looking at other things. So
I'm gonna tell you that one something is a second round exit.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you like that. So, tell me, are you excited for the Sixers in this upcoming year with the roster constructed as? Because for me, I'm not sure. I'm still thinking about that.
At this point with the 76ers, man, I just think, for me, I'm in a wait and see phase.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I obviously want to see a good brand of basketball when the 76ers are on the court. But at the same time, I'm just really in the wait and see phase with them, you know, because you don't know. You don't know what Harden's going to do. We don't know what, you know, Morey has up his sleeve to try to bring another guy in? Is he going to trade Tobias? Is he going to finally trade Harden? Does anyone even really want Harden? Because at this point, the Clippers are unwilling to even give up anything of value for him. You're trying to give up Mook. No one wants him. We don't want him back here for what? You already have 3 Mooks here that are younger. So at this point, man, I'm not upset with them. I'm just really in that phase, like I said, where I'm just looking. Okay, what's next? So that's where I'm at with the Sixers at this point.
Yeah. So for me, it's just like, what if? So what I mean by what if the Sixers actually make a move that makes sense? Because all the moves that they make right now, do they really make sense? Patrick Beverly, yes, you can do that because, trying to bring Harden back. They match Paul Reed. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that shouldn't have been discussed in the first place. It shouldn't have gone to where it was. And then you get Montrezl Harrell brought back. Now he's out with the ACL. Prayers up to him. And then you get Mo Bamba, who just like another big. And then you bring in Philip Atusev from the summer league, and it's like, what is this guy doing? And now we have no wings, pretty much, other than D'Anthony Melton.
I see. Here's another thing, right? I think along with that, Dame all of a sudden out the blue, because he's been prolonging this thing of wanting out of Portland forever. Yeah. And when he finally dropped that down, that was a couple of days after we found out that Harden, opted into wanting to be traded. Yeah. Then Dame, like 2 to 3 days later, said, "Hey, I want to be traded from Portland." So obviously, at this point in both of their careers, Dame is the better player. So that put a wrench in everything because of the fact that until Dame gets traded, we don't even know. And I honestly don't think anyone wants him, but you really don't know until Dame gets traded. So there's a lot, they're just in the standstill at this point. We all are.
It's just like you see all these teams making moves. Look at what the Pacers did with the trades and all that. You look at the Celtics, right? They just got Porzingis. Right. And of course they lost Marcus Smart and Grant Williams. They lose their 2 big heart and soul, but they got better with Porzingis. So you have us here, like, okay, we got Daniel House Jr. Oh, there's another wing. Daniel House Jr. we brought back. Like, are we definitely running it back with just a new coach? Because I feel like that's what it's gonna happen. Like,
no real trade capital, right? Because they got Doc's second round picks last year, right? Before the whole thing with PJ, right? Yeah. Doing that. So they don't have any picks. Then the picks they did have before that, they gave them away in order to trade for James. It's a continuous pattern. Granted, I think regardless of what anyone says, the 76ers won that trade between, Brooklyn and the 76ers because Ben wasn't playing. So they had to get something in return. It's just the fact that they don't have anything to burn at this point, man. Like, and you have Tobias on an expiring deal, but at the same time, it's like you trade him. What else are you getting back?
Now, when it comes to the Ben Simmons trade for Harden, we could have got Halliburton and Buddy Hield. Just let that sink in. We could have got Buddy Hield and Tyrese Halliburton. Can you imagine the Tyrese and Tyrese backcourt?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But then my question in return would be, how much of this did they actually run by Joel? What was he really okay with during this whole situation? When you said that Halliburton and Buddy were on the table, and did ownership or the GM come to him and say, "Hey, is this a package you would be comfortable playing with?" I wonder what his answer was. We don't know it. We won't know that. They won't internally, but I wonder what his answer was for that. And did he say, "Okay, I'm okay with getting Harden"? But you remember what he said at the end of the playoffs last year. He said we got a different Harden.
Yeah.
At the end of the playoffs. He's not the same guy. And he said that. That came out of his mouth. So at this point, I oof, it's just you're opening up a box of what ifs, and what do we know? What could happen? That's
Exactly.
where we're at.
Exactly. Now, when it comes to like another what if we actually trade Tobias for actual something, right? Like,
Right.
I don't think we're gonna get like an actual star in return. I don't think that. I think we'll get some like maybe a couple role players and maybe a pick. Who knows? Because he's like the most overpaid player in the league. I'm
Yep.
not a big Tobias Harris fan. I am not. He
Oh,
sucks. I
none of
call
us
him
are.
Tobias ass because he is ass on the court. So I'm just like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? And then with Nick Nurse on there, is he actually going to use Tobias correctly, like as a fourth option? That's what I'm most intrigued about. Is Nick Nurse in his
Yeah.
offense? How about you?
Look, Tobias should have really, in the grand scheme of things, Tobias should have been the 4, right?
Yes.
They've been playing him at the 3 forever, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, for me, he's not aggressive enough when he has smaller 3s and 2s on him. Like
Right.
in the Boston series, there were so many opportunities when Joel wasn't in the paint, and he had a Marcus Smart, he had a Derek White, he had what's the other guard from Boston? Not Jaylen Brown, but he had another one of the guys that came off the bench.
Yeah.
That were in the paint with him, and he just the refusal to back them down and go over them. No one's saying every time he took a shot, it was a fadeaway. Like, I'm not fading away if I'm 6'8" or 6'9" and the guy guarding me is 6'3" or 6'4. What are you fading away for? Go up and over him. But he's not consistent enough with that, and he hasn't been since he's been in Philadelphia. He hasn't done that since he's been there. He did it in in Detroit, he did it in Orlando, and he did it in LA. So why not? Why is his game not transferring here? The same game.
Who knows? When it comes to with Tobias, I think of Ben Simmons. He's scared of something. There's something mental block there. And
Yeah.
it's just like, Tobias, what are you doing? Yes, and he brings up the whole crumble cookie thing, and we're going to talk about that in a second.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, with Tobias, he thinks he's all good. He thinks he's like all-star, but in reality, he is not.
Nah.
Like, he is not there at all. So when it comes to Tobias, it's like, he's not wrong. He can guard like a couple people. He is 6'9", but it's just like his offensive gains when the other players don't step up. It's his
Right.
time too. He falls flat on his face.
Right. But my question to that is, and we talked about it off air. Who brought him? Who brought him here? Who decided to re-sign him when they prioritized Ben when it was time for him to re-up, right?
Yeah.
After they lost to Toronto, right? They prioritized Ben's feelings, and they prioritized keeping Tobias because he was less of a threat to Ben.
Yeah.
And in tune, they lost Jimmy. But all that goes back upstairs.
Yeah.
So like I said, as much as the players are at fault, the decisions being presented to us from the front office, man, it's just, oh my God.
Now,
It's tough.
when it comes to the Jimmy Butler and the Tobias Harris situation, we were stuck because Jimmy Butler wanted out. We did not choose Tobias over Jimmy. We did not.
No,
We
that wasn't
had to keep
that
him
wasn't
here.
the issue, right? You are exactly right.
We had to keep him here, and it's just like, of course we had to overpay him. It's just like another thing dumb that the Sixers have done. And don't even get me started. There's a guy in the chat, Philly halftime, who keep on wanting Trae Young over and over and over again, and it's just like, with these players, you can't just pick and choose. So it's crazy, bro. It's crazy, and this is my number one. And I'm getting frustrated. We're not even 15 minutes in.
Yeah, how I've learned to deal with it, man. It's just like, when you really pay attention to it, because a lot of the stuff is the media is going to make things, they're going to overblow situations, right?
Yeah.
But what is the real situation and what is actually going on? You know what I'm saying? And what you saw was what actually happened. They prioritized Ben's feelings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not they. It was really Brett Brown, because he was the de facto GM at that time, because they had just brought on Elton, right?
Yeah.
And Brett was, he knew Ben from birth. So he prioritized Ben's feelings, and he really didn't want Jimmy around. Jimmy felt that and said, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what happened. But in doing that, I think Brett his eyes were so shut to everything that was going around him that he didn't realize that, hey, man, I got an entitled 6'10" point guard that really doesn't want the best for the entire team. He wanted the best for himself.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Uh-huh. And then Philly halftime brings up a good point. Sixers need 3-point shooting. We were actually one of the best, if not the best, 3-point shooting when it comes to percentages. We just didn't take a lot. So it's just like now when you look at the bench, who's a 3-point shooter we got off the bench now? Like you can say Beverly, he can knock it down occasionally. You got Melton. I think he's the best one off. No, I should correct it. Korkmaz. He's the best 3-point shooter off the bench.
But you can't keep him. But you can't keep him on the court because he can't defend anybody.
Right. And then
the pace of play doesn't help their 3-point percentage or the amount of attempts they're taking, because they play a slow game.
Yeah.
Because of obviously a Joel, they're trying to highlight him, obviously, because he's the best, he's the MVP, but that's all they have. Yeah.
And then when Korkmaz, remember when he played like overseas back in Turkey, he was averaging like 40. Mm-hmm. And now he's just like, he's requested a trade 2 times.
Right.
And it's just like, why do we have him here if he doesn't want to be here, 1? And 2, we haven't given him a contract yet.
Yeah.
And he's still here.
And then think of the contract they gave him the first time. What was it? 3 years and $15 million? Why?
315, yep.
Why? Why did that happen?
Doc Rivers. That is why. Doc Rivers loved Korkmaz, and I don't know why. Where Doc Rivers, he just loved playing like the older guys who are not fast, who are not quick.
Right.
Like he put an experience over everything. And did Korkmaz really have that much experience? No.
Right.
It's just too many questions. But there's this one thing I'm excited for the Sixers, and that is Tyrese Maxey. Because Maxey, I believe, should be the number 1 option. If he's the number 1 option, you can put Joel Embiid at the second option. He's still going to get 26 to 30 points per game. Harden's going to take a step back, probably average more assists or whatever. So for me, it's like give Maxey the rocket. Am I alone in this? You like that?
But if James is here, will he allow that to happen?
When it comes to James, he did change his game up from Brooklyn to here. He averaged more assists. He led the league in assists, 11, 12? So I guess he's going to want to put that. If he does that, we are perfectly fine because Maxey can't play make. So when Harden's there doing the playmaking, Maxey does an incredible job.
Right.
So
I can see what you're saying in regard to, you allow James to do his playmaking throughout the first 3 quarters or 2.5 quarters or whatever the case may be, and then when you're coming down the lane in the 4th quarter, you allow Maxey to take over, and it'd be a Maxey and Tobias, or not a Maxey and Tobias, a Maxey and Joel show at that point, and then everyone else just fills in the spots or the crevices after that happens. But again, that requires them to play as a team and to be selfless, to buy in, because we saw in Game 7, we saw James quit, right, for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
And then because James quit, we saw Joel quit because he saw James quit, right? Because the game at what was it in the middle of the 3rd quarter? It was a 4 point game.
Yeah, 4 or 5. Yep.
You know, and then Uncle, I don't only want to get with that. You know, what was it? Game 6 when what was his name? Niang clipped or tripped Jalen Brown.
Yeah.
I wanted him going that day. I wanted him going immediately after that happened, but that's neither. He's gone now, so I'm not going to jump on him about that.
Yeah, I actually got a funny story about George Niang. It's actually funny. I tweeted out at him. I was like, yo, I'm going to make a video about you and stuff. Just be prepared and everything, right? And he DMs me like at 1:30 in the morning. It's actually George Niang. And he goes, what is this video going to be about? And I'm like, bro, just come on my channel. We'll talk Sixers. We'll talk shop or whatever. He did not respond to me. And then he probably saw my tweets or whatever. Someone tweeted a picture of Philip Petrucci being soft. And I go, oh, that's Georges Niang. That's not Petrucci.
Oh
And
my
then he
God.
sees that. He DMs me. And he goes, yo, I'll come on your show. So I go like, okay, is this day good? Like this Friday? I haven't got a response since.
Yeah, so that's him saying like pretty much, okay, I saw it and I'm dipping off. So he probably basically gave you a stiff arm.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
pretty much.
but
You know, what
did he deserve it? Yes, because what he did was dead wrong. You don't go tripping a guy when you're on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like in a tight game like that, because what no, I take that back. That was game 6 that happened.
Yeah.
Right? Because he tricked them and the 76ers were in the process of coming back. And they would have had I think they might have had they had a 4-point lead at the time. And that became what? They had to take a technical foul shot, and then boom, the Celtics just wiped them out the rest of the game. So
Yeah.
now you got me mad thinking about it again.
That's what Sixers fans do, bro. Make each other mad, and it's about our team. It's just like, I don't
want to be mad, man. It's the end of the summer. I don't want to be mad.
I don't either. That's why I look forward to this guy's videos who think that Sixers are going to win a championship every single year. I'm not mad. I laugh. Because it's like there's actually people out there that actually believe we could get LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Chris Paul, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. And I'm like, is this really serious right now? Like, there's actually fans out there that actually think this is 2K? And I just laugh. You can actually watch. I make reaction videos on this guy. It's hilarious. But it's just like, what do the Sixers have for the Sixers? Like, what do we have as fans to look forward to? Nothing. We don't have anything to look forward to. Maybe like a, second seed, third seed in the regular season and get bounced in the second round again? Until
it's the same thing you can equate it to. Like Joel, for all intents and purposes, even though he didn't play the first 2 years, he's in his 9th year in the league, right?
Yes.
You know, at some point in time as a leader, and I'm talking strictly as a leader, your guys are going to follow your lead.
Yep.
You know, if they see you pouting and complaining and whining, guess what they're going to do? They're going to pout, complain, and whine. If they see you not being physical, not getting on the boards and not giving your best effort, guess what they're going to do? They're going to not give their best effort. He, as a leader, he's still growing as a man, I believe in that sense. But you don't have that much time in NBA time. You don't have that much time. You got to be the man now, because no matter if he stays or goes, that is going to follow him regardless. If he goes to the Knicks, are you going to lead them the same way you leaded the guys in Philadelphia or Golden State? It doesn't matter. You have to be a leader. You have to be a man, a man's man in those situations where they need you the most.
Yeah.
If that means you have to impose your will on somebody, so be it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Joker does it. You know, LeBron does it. You know, the guys that want to, Giannis did it. You know, he had to get over not being able to shoot free throws, but he imposed his will. He has to get to that point where he is that man. He just has to.
Yeah. And I made a video saying, like, Joel Embiid needs Jimmy Butler. He needs somebody that can push him to do better. Even PJ Tucker got in his ears in what,
face.
game 6?
Yes.
It was like
Yes.
game 6 or 7.
Yeah, game 6. Game 6.
He was
Yeah.
yelling in Embiid's ear to, stay in the game, keep doing your thing and all that. And it's
Right.
just like, PJ Tucker has to tell you that?
Yeah.
PJ freaking Tucker, 36 years old.
Yeah, it's just like at some point in time, man, you gotta, and then that, and you gotta have the prerequisite guys around you that can get the job done, right? You can't have a Tobias Harris. I'm for one. Let me go back. I'm for players getting paid.
Yes.
So I'm happy that Tobias got his money. However, what comes with that is the responsibility to do your job.
Yep.
You can't go 2 for 14 and only have 6 points in a game 6. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And for Maxey, he's younger, but you can't have 8 points, right? James can't have 10 points. Joel can't have just 22 points. You can't do that. You have to show up. If any of those guys, let's say if Tobias would have gotten to 10 points in that game 6, they would have won. You know what I'm saying? Imagine that. He could have still had a horrible game, got to a 10 to 11 points. They win by a field goal.
Yep. And I hate to say this, I really do. Who on the Sixers has heart besides Maxey? I mean, can you say Embiid? Like, to an extent?
Embiid to an extent because of what he's played through physically, right?
Yeah.
I could say that much because we don't know what it takes to get out there and play with a torn meniscus. I've played with a torn patella before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've played with a torn patella before, a slight tear. But the broken face, the patella, or meniscus, the leg with a meniscus again, it takes a lot to get out there. So he has heart. Maxey does. I think Melton has something inside of him.
Yeah.
Maybe a Paul Reed with the hustle. But the rest of those guys, I have no faith in them. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know who else I could look at on this current roster right now and say, all right, if I had to go down the back alley with any of these guys and we have to get into a fight, I know I'm not. If it's past those 4 guys, I just would rather go down that alley alone.
Yeah.
That's the real thing. It is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? So, they need some guys that's ready to get in there and bang, and then can still contribute on the offensive side, which means pick up the pace of the game.
Yeah.
You can't just, granted, yeah, I understand that Joel wants to slow the game down so he can get the ball in the paint and all that, but sometimes you got to run. You got these guys around the league are running.
So we're the slowest team in the league, and we're like dead last in rebounding. That's hustle.
Yeah, it's hustle because it's either how we came up, man. Either you have it, either it's in your heart, or it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think the game has transitioned to more of a AAU type of version of basketball where these guys, all they care about is running and gunning, getting up the court, taking the shot, getting back. You might have some defense here and there, but when it comes in those moments where they need you to lock in and get a stop, lock in and get a bucket, a lot of these guys can't do it. But that's why you saw Denver win, because they had guys that were selfless, that were willing, even though you had Joker, those guys filled in right around him and took care of their leader.
Yeah.
They did. Can you say, as much as I like, and that's another thing with Denver fans, I don't want to get on that, but as much as I like Joel, he doesn't inspire the guys around him to put in that work. You know what I'm saying? That's not maybe it's his personality. I don't know. But those guys, man, I don't see them wanting to do that at this moment.
It's more of Maxey for that. Like when you have Maxey out there, I feel like everyone gets better. James Harden
Right.
gets better with assists. George Leanne would knock down a bucket if he actually tries. Paul Reed will hustle. All these guys will hustle for Maxey, not
Yeah.
Embiid, not definitely not Harden.
Right.
Like for Harden, it's just like, okay, here's the beard, tween. Oh, step back three brick.
You remember the Brooklyn series
Yeah,
when Joel was out during that time?
yeah.
Those guys, the pace, the first thing you saw was the pace of the game change,
Uh-huh.
right? The pace of the game changed. The energy changed. The defense changed. And those guys were running, right? So you look at the current setup of the team, you got Joel there, but you know the ball is going to slow down. So how do you run with him out there?
I wish I could answer that.
Yeah,
I wish I
it's
could.
a real thing. It's a real thing, man. You know, it's that's why I say with this team, and I understand how fans are, especially our 76ers fans. They gave it to Joel in over the summer. All those, I'm pretty sure you saw the tweets and all the stuff on social media, man.
Yeah.
But my message to them was, okay, you know, and the same thing for us. On October 24th, when they open up, we're going to be right there watching. So it doesn't. I mean, I understand the frustration, but at this point in time, like it's like, what can you do?
Nah. Like my best friend off YouTube, he's like, Mitch, I'm boycotting the Sixers. I just can't stand where they are right now.
Yeah,
The organization sucks. Joe Morey doesn't know what he's doing and all that stuff. And I'm like, bro, I feel you, but I just feel like with 2024, and he's keep on talking about it for OG Ananobi, Pascal Siakam, Clay Thompson. I feel like that is when the Sixers are gonna strike. That is
right.
when I feel like we're gonna strike because
But
with all this cap being pushed out the wayside,
mm-hmm.
it's just like now the guy who reacted to my video, right? He was saying like, Mitch, a trade can happen at any freaking time,
It
which is
can.
true.
Yeah.
It is true. He brought up the Allen Iverson to what was it, Denver, but then they were trying to go a different direction with Iguodala. Then he
Right.
brought up Shaquille O'Neal going
Mm-hmm.
to Miami. He was like, I didn't think that was going to happen. Well, that was when Shaq and Kobe were having their beef, and they wanted to go with Kobe.
Right.
Like it's organizations now at the end of the day, and I feel like with this organization, they're not really going to do much of anything.
No.
John Harris is most focused about left hand up the Commanders.
Oh my God.
That's all that he's thinking about right
Yeah,
now.
man. Yeah.
And then the
It's
Devils and then the soccer team. I forget which one.
yeah. I this off season is weirdly peaceful, even besides a little bit of drama with James. And
Right?
the reason I say that is because we know what they are right now.
Yep.
We know what they are right now. They're a second round team
Mm-hmm.
as currently constructed,
Yes.
right? And you mentioned earlier about okay, they may wait until 2024 to strike with Pascal and Ananobi and a couple of
Thompson.
other guys. I wonder, have they had that discussion with Joel? And I keep going back to that because he is the biggest piece to all of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
Yeah.
he, what is his true? We've seen it. Obviously he's put out these cryptic tweets and all that stuff. Joel. The first one I think was half joking, half serious. This one I don't know about. I mean, I saw it, but I was like, whatever, and I kind of threw it to the side. But have they had these conversations with him about this current roster and what their plan is in the future? Because I think a lot of guys would want to play for Nick Nurse from coming from Toronto, and seeing what he's been doing, and then Joel. But is that in Joel's time window? Is he okay with that?
Right. And then people are talking about Joel Embiid, blow it up, right? Let's say if Joel Embiid does get traded to like the
Oh.
Knicks or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
what can we get out of that? Like, I don't think we can get much of anything. Yes, they have the third amount of draft picks. Yes, they got
Yeah,
RJ Barrett. They don't have a backup forward. They traded Obi to the Pacers. So
yeah,
I'm like, I'm gonna want the Rudy Gobert haul. I'm gonna
yeah.
want like 5 first rounds and some garbage players or something like that.
Yeah, man.
That's what I want. And people are talking about, oh, if we go to Miami, give me Bam, give me Hero, give me all this. And I'm like, no, I want to rebuild right from there if we
Right
decide to blow it up.
now, yeah, right. Whatever they got, I want it. Whatever picks they have, all of them, all of
Right.
them. I'm not talking. Well, we're going to give you a mix of these and no, whatever you got from 2024 to 2029 or 2029, that's what I want. I don't want your players. I don't want your players. I don't want any of the Knicks players. I want all your picks. Period.
It's
Because I want my money. I want to keep the money too, to be able to furnish all of that pretty quickly. You know, because already at least you know you got a decent coach on hand to start with that, and Maxi, because you're going to max Maxi out at that point immediately, and then you're going to leave. You're going to lose Tobias anyway, so that's money back on the books.
Yeah.
Just give me your picks. That's what I want.
Do you? I really believe this. I was talking to Mark Farzetta about this when he was on. Do you think that the Sixers will trade Tobias at the deadline? Like, his value will go up because of the money and everything, and people who try to compete may snag that. So I'm like, that's what I think. Because if you go back to
it's a
if you go
possibility.
back to 2000, 2001,
Yeah,
look at Theodore left for Mutombo.
yeah. But also, I think what would be a factor in that is where are they at in the standings at that point? You know, where are they at? You know, will they be? Because I right now, currently, as they're constructed in the East, they're the fourth best team, maybe 5.
Behind who? You got the Celtics.
Celtics, Heat, if they get Dame.
They just
right?
They just lost Max Strus and Gabe Vincent.
Right. Then you have the Bucks, right?
Bucks 3.
And then hey man, like
You got the Pacers.
you got the Pacers, but as much as I don't care for the Knicks, they still have a roster. And then they're getting another guy in Dante DiVincenzo that he's an energy guy, but you don't know how all this, you can't, obviously we have Joel, so you don't know when he's going to play all the time. You still have Harden. You don't know if he's going to be there all the time. What are they going to bring in for that if they trade him? There's a lot of, things in flux with the team that you don't know. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying 4, maybe 5, depending on how things shake out. So I don't know.
When it comes to the Knicks, I've been calling this. I've been calling for them to get DiVincenzo. I'm calling this right now. I've been calling this for like a month or 2 now. They're gonna get Mikal Bridges sometime down the line.
Yeah, because they have all the Villanova guys.
Thank you. And I grew up with Leon Rose's daughter. We were like in the same draft class or high school, not draft class. Geez, high school class. And it's just like I know that family very well, and they're very close with Brunson, Hart, Bridges, DiVincenzo.
I forgot Cleveland.
Cleveland, yeah. I keep on forgetting about Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland for me is just there. Like they're Cleveland.
Yeah, and one thing I did hear, just watching and pods and all that. I don't know if what's his name? Don Mitchell. I don't think he may not extend there. He may not max out there. I think he may be on the move because he's not. I think they have the option to try to extend him this upcoming year, right? And he may not want that because he may want to get out of Cleveland because I think he wanted to go to the Knicks. That's where he really wanted to go, but he got traded to Cleveland because Angel saw what they had for him, so he got that. But right now, like going back to the 76ers, I think they're like the 4th team, man. Right now, 4th or 5th best team in the East.
Now, people are asking me, like, let's say James Harden is gone, right? And we didn't really get much for him. People
Right.
are telling me, oh, there'll be like a 4 to 5 seed. I'm like, no. Like, if we don't get anything back, we'll be a playing team.
Yeah,
Lucky.
yeah.
Lucky.
In the six, I think they will be struck because you got to look at it like as currently constructed right now. I don't think you have to worry that much about Atlanta because they just traded John Collins, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what all they got in terms, but it's not as much as I think they got like draft capital for him and some money, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about Atlanta. So at the least, I think they can be the sixth. If they didn't get anything for Harden, they would then drop to the fifth or sixth seed because I don't think they would go completely into the play-in. Not with the Hawks in them there. I don't think they would.
What is up, Merrick? Thank you for stopping by, bro. Make sure you guys hit that like and go subscribe to my guy's YouTube channel. The link is in the description. He's starting back up, so the link is down there. Please give him a sub. What's about your channel? What do they expect from there?
Oh, for my channel?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a mix of things. We're gonna be talking basketball, obviously talking the 76ers. We're gonna be talking some Eagles, but just culture and things in general. It's not always gonna be about the hometown teams because I don't you want to broaden you broaden your horizon and get into other topics, but we're gonna obviously talk about a good portion of it to be about the 76ers, Eagles, some Phillies and things like that. But you guys, when we get everything set up, man, you guys are gonna have fun. Please hit that like and subscribe because I feel like it. And my just a real quick plug, my guy Marv, he's gonna be one of my guy on there too. Simply Swerve, that's his handle on Twitter. His original name is Marv, but we got a lot of things to start for you guys, man. So just lock in with us.
I just gotta ask you, man, how'd you get Jake Fisher on? Because I'm like, that's my guy, man. I grew up with him. His house is right over there. So I'm just like, did you just DM him on Twitter and just go bam?
Yeah, that's what I did. Okay, so I can tell you what I did, man. I kind of took the old school route.
Yeah.
I went to the DM, right? I went to DM. I said, hey, Jake, this is our podcast because we were on another another channel at that point. And I told him, I said, hey, I would love to have you on. I was reading his articles long beforehand.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I like to read more than I actually like to tweet. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to read what's going on and then hit the visuals with it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I learn.
Right.
I saw, what Jake was doing and everything he was writing was great. And I went to the DM and I said, hey, Jake, this is Marcus from, our previous channel. And I gave him a couple of our videos on the 76ers and what we did. And he came back and he said, yeah, this is a good time for me. I got him on. And then we talked, man. It was just going on from there. It was a great conversation, And shout out to Jake, man, for even having the time to put a guy on like me on. So that was great.
Yeah.
It was a good interview. And hopefully in the future we can have him back on again, man. But right now he's at Yahoo now. So yeah,
dude,
he's out there.
I keep in touch with him, bro. He's doing great. I have his number still. Like, bro, he's my childhood friend. I grew up with him, his family, great group of people over there. And if you need him back on, I'll shoot him a text. And
absolutely, man. Yeah, we'd love to have him back on, when we get everything up and ready to go. But
of course, I got you. I got you. So with the Sixers, I usually ask everyone this who comes on my podcast and everything. Give me one word that describes the Sixers offseason right now. Because I've gotten failure, I've gotten stale, I've gotten tease, I've gotten what's going on. I forget the other one, but those are the sums I've been getting. For me, it's predictable.
Yeah. Pause? Yeah.
That works.
Pause. Because everything is in a holding pattern to me until Damian Lillard moves on or decides to stay in Portland. I think the whole entire league, even though they've done things before, free agency and all that, and some trades happened, but after Dame said he wanted out, the league has been on pause. even if if you watch or listen to NBA radio,
Yeah.
I mean, the conversations are the same. They're the same recycled conversations because there's nothing else going on that they can really report on. They have certain things here and there, like I heard about the Donovan Mitchell thing, where he may not go back to Cleveland after his current contract is up. But
Yeah.
there's nothing. No one's doing this. No one can move until Dame moves.
Yeah.
No real business can get done until Dame moves. And that's I kind of and yeah, James is not better than Dame. So in turn, James is behind Dame. He can't move. It's just where we're at,
Yeah, and that's why the Sixers can't do anything because we got Harden. Like,
Right.
if it wasn't for Harden, I really feel like Daryl Morey will be making moves left, right, and center.
If you, Mitch,
It's just like the
you-
Al Horford trade. As soon as he got in, he
Yeah.
traded Horford and a pick, I think, for Danny Green.
Mhm.
So that was the best move, in my opinion, that he has done. Even better than the Ben Simmons and James Harden, because the Al Horford at the 4 wasn't working. So he
Right.
knew, okay, I got to move these guys. We need a shooter. We need a vet. And that
Mhm.
was Danny Green. So for
Yeah.
me, that was the best move. But
Let me ask you a question.
yeah, hit me.
If the Los Angeles Clippers aren't even willing to trade Terrence Mann
Right?
or James Harden, what else do we think is out there? And it's Terrence Mann. We ain't talking about, granted, yes, Terrence Mann is a good basketball player. No disrespect to him. But you have a top 75 all-time guard. He's not in that mode as much as he used to be. But if you can't even get Terrence Mann for James Harden, what else? What else do you think is out there? No one else is knocking on the door for him. It's either LA or Philadelphia.
Right. And he wants to play with Westbrook, which is like hilarious.
Yeah,
Hilarious. I mean,
you
you
gotta
know
ask
what?
these guys, man. Like, what is your true? You made money. No, and I don't want to comment on this money. You've made hella money, right?
Yeah.
What is next? Do you want to win a championship? Do you want to be in the circle of when? Because if you go to LA, and I hate to say it, because I like Kawhi and I like PG,
Yeah.
but those guys you can't rely on them to be healthy.
Right.
Is it just because you want to be home? What is it?
But do you want to be with Kawhi and Paul George? Like, Kawhi is never going to be what he once was. I don't
Right.
think he's going to be bounced back. Paul George. Okay, I love the guy. I've wanted him ever since James Harden wanted out. But
Right.
it's just like his injuries too. And it's just like, what are we doing here? I believe, didn't we try to make a move and the Clippers said no, we're good or something? I think it was, right?
Right.
It
Yeah, I
just,
think I don't. It sucks, man. To even Harden is. I didn't think he would pull this move here because of where he was in his career.
yeah.
And then you turn it. Why would you even opt if you wanted out? Maybe it's because he didn't think the extra 36 million was there, where how many million it was. I don't know. But if you truly wanted to leave, you should have just opted out.
Right? I was just about to ask you that. Why would you opt in? If
Right.
you
It
wanted
didn't
to
make
be
any sense
out?
to me. If you wanted to be gone, if you knew that Daryl wasn't going to provide you the contract, and I'm pretty sure because that's your guy that you've been having those back channel discussions with him, and the number wasn't what you wanted, you should have said, "I'm opting out. See you later. I had a great 2 years here. I'm out." You should have just did that. But now you're in a situation where you can't opt out. You're stuck. If the Clippers don't want you, then what you going to do? If you go and be belligerent, then you're out the league.
Right?
So what are your options?
I think he really is going to be out of the league in like 2 years.
Oh yeah,
Not 3. People are telling me 3 or 4. I'm going 2.
2. It'll be 2.
I'm going 2.
Because no one's going to want that. You know, the one thing that saved Russ was that people saw really behind the wall.
Yeah.
That, yes, Russ can be a little tough to deal with at times, but he's a real dude. And he just all Russ really wanted people to do was tell him the truth about his role.
Yeah.
They were mismanaging him in LA. Some of it was his fault, but they played fault to that too. But Russ at least showed that he understood where he was in his career. Right? He understood that, you know, physically. He understood where he was at his career. Yeah. James still thinks he's that guy from 2018 and 19. And he's, you know, as much as I like him, he's just not. And as a basketball player, you have to realize I can't do what these young guys do. So guess what? I have to move aside for a younger guy like Tyrese Maxey and let him handle the ball. But I think James, you know, financially and mentally still believes he's here. And that's the problem. And the team sees it, and they're trying to get him to see it, but he doesn't see it.
Yes. You summed it up perfectly with his mental space, because it's just like Harden will never be as good. As soon as he got traded from the Thunder to the Rockets and he went for 40 plus in like 3 straight games or something like that.
Right.
You knew that he was going to be something. You knew that he was going to be something ever since that Rockets thing, right?
Absolutely.
And for me, it's just like, now we're getting this old version of Harden. We're going to get the fat suit. Training camp's going to be a mess, just like last year or 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, enough is enough, bro.
Yeah.
It's enough.
Yeah. It is. You got it. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of us at some point in time in our lives, we reach to a point where we're not the fastest guy or the guy that could jump the highest on the court or on the football field, whatever the case may be. You're not that, and it's okay. But you have to have that mental makeup to understand that, okay, young fella, we're at the point in the game where I don't have it in my legs as much as I used to. I'm going to let you have it. I'm going to let you have it, Tyrese. You carry us home. Just let me know where you need me to fit in. And as a leader, as a man, he's not there yet. And I think that's really what the issue is with James. He's not there yet to that point. I think in his mind, he wants to be there, but it's not showing in his actions. And that's okay. It's okay not to be. It's okay not to be the quickest guy on the court anymore.
Right.
It really is.
Yeah. My guy, play-by-play with JJ. What's up with you, man?
Yeah.
Harden is literally Aaron Nola. You either get pure dominance or a terrible version of themselves. No, what part you're gonna get?
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
Because the thing with him is he has, like I just said, he has to understand where he's at. You may not be able to get off another, like he had the first game against the Celtics, right, in the playoffs, right? 42, 44, 46, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
And then he has like 3 games in a row where he's like below, or two in a row where he's like subpar. Game 5 or 4 or 5, 1 or 2, he goes off for another 40 piece. You got to realize where you're at. You can't do that every game anymore. You have help. You had Max and you had Joel. You have help. Give the ball. The ball will come back to you if you pass it. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, it'll work his way around to you. But as James.
What is good, AK? How's the open practice, bro? He's there. He should be on his way home right now. Hey, appreciate it, man. Sub to your Eagles Uncensored. Good job, man. Now go check out my guy. His link is in the description.
Yep, appreciate it.
Yeah, with the Sixers, all I'm going to say is this. Do you see a title in any near future? Because for me, I don't. I can't see that far.
No, and it's not because of what we currently see. It's just the fact that I'm not looking further because I'm the I'm in the mind frame of show me that you can do it. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I need to see the puzzle. I need to see the pieces to the puzzle. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are the pieces of the puzzle that are going to be there? You know what I'm saying? Is Joel going to show up as a grown man and handle his business? Is Maxie going to take that next step? Who's the is and this and just this year alone? I know we talked about it being a
Gap
pass
year.
pretty much on for them. I don't see it. Maybe in 2024, but is Joel here? But I need to see those pieces, man. I do. And right now, as they're currently constructed right now, I'm just like pay as you go, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. I don't see it at this point, but I'm not. At the same time, I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah.
That's what.
Now, for me, it's like it's not as many years it's gonna take. It's the management. It's like Daryl Morey, Ellen Brand, Josh Harris. If something doesn't change in that aspect, I don't see it for like another decade. Something's got to change in the
Change.
front office, no matter if it's now or next year. Something's got to happen.
Yeah, and I think they can't have a. Is I don't think they can have a horrible year because they just have a horrible year. I'm not even talking about second round exit. I'm talking about you get swiped in the first round or something. If that happens, I think everyone's going. You know what I'm saying? Maury, Elton, Joel, they're all going. Because I don't think they're going to waste their time with that. But if you're competitive and you are really engaging Joel on, oh, look, this is what we may not get to it, even if they look, throughout the year, you're talking to them, you let them know, hey, we're trying to do this. We don't know if we can pull it off, but we're trying to get this done because you have the reigning MVP in the league, even though Joker, is 1A, right?
Yeah.
1B is Joel.
Yeah.
You still have a 1B player. You can still do some things around him. You have Maxie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's two pieces. You get and this whole thing where you need a super team. You don't. You just need a bunch of guys that are selfless and that play the right brand of basketball at the right times. That's what you need. And if you got Maxie, Joel, and a guy that's going to just, can hit an outside jumper consistently in the starting lineup and one on the bench, you have something. Because that's exactly Denver didn't have all these great players. They didn't. They had Joker, they had Murray, and then you had Bruce Brown doing all of the cleanup stuff, and my guy Aaron Gordon, just boarding and bossing people up. That's what you had. Guys that just had heart and filled in around each other and was selfless. If the Sixers can get that in the East, because there's not much there in the East, right? You have 4 teams, 3 in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Boston, Giannis, Miami. And you don't know what if Dame doesn't go to Miami, they could trade him somewhere else. Then you just really have those two. You can get it done. And I see Blaze Radio talking about the mid-season.
Yeah, my guy Jason was going to bring it up. Yeah,
I'm not a fan of it, man.
I'm not either. For me, it's kind of funny on how the mid-season tournament is because the WNBA is doing it, and what they get if they win, it's not money, it's points added to their record, which makes more sense. For us, you get like, yay, we get money, yay, we get a trophy.
And then you already have the summer league in Vegas, because that's where they're talking about having the midseason tournament in Vegas. You already have the summer league there. Like now you're saturating Vegas. You know what I'm saying? I understand more of it is because they actually want to have a team out there later on. But at the same time, it's like, just you don't do too much with Vegas at this point. Just let it happen naturally. You know what I'm saying? Don't oversaturate us to it. That's where I'm at with it. So.
So you brings up a good point about Embiid bringing more facilitator, playmaking and stuff. I think Nick Nurse is going to bring that more out of Joel Embiid because with Nick Nurse, he's not going to have a Doc Rivers offense where it's just like a, ISO guy in the corner, dunker spot, etc. I
Mhm.
think that Embiid, who's going to get even better passing out of double team and triple teams, he's going
Right.
to average. I think like what did he average like 6 last year? I'm
Yeah.
going like 8. I'm going up a couple more. James Harden would still be around if he does anything. And then Maxi got to just worry about the scoring.
But yeah, and the thing is, I think a lot of some of it, I think, was on how the offense was ran. But a lot of times when Joel had the ball, these guys, what happened to backdoor cuts? You know what I'm saying? What happened to cutting to the? Okay, I'm gonna get to the. If I see Joel's on the block or at the top of the key, why am I not flashing to the free throw line in and taking a little floater or a jumper? Why am I not backdoor, from the left or right on the baseline cutting?
Yeah.
What happened to that? Everyone was just standing around waiting for somebody to do something. I'm like, get your behind out on your legs and move to the rim, because guess what? You are the closest threat to the rim. You know what I'm saying? If you can't make a jumper, like PJ or Tobias was barely, he couldn't even make layups at some point. But you need to see the ball go through the hoop, go backdoor cut and get a layup. Yeah.
When it was a backdoor cuts, I'm just thinking of the movie Hoosiers. You
Yeah.
seen that? Like Gory
Yeah.
Road,
Fundamental basketball.
all these basketball movies. Even Coach Carter, my favorite one.
Mhm.
You see the offense moving. Like that's better
Fundamental.
offense than Doc Rivers by a mile.
Fundamental basketball. Like, you don't have to have all the fun. You don't have to do it all the time, but have the threat of it being available.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, hear me out. Other teams might be saying, let's see if like the Hornets or mid-tier team, that could be something. Wait, oh my God, man, I'm tired. A long day. The measuring stick to where we are
Okay,
and where it's shooting in the playoffs.
but with the playing now being the option, it's not like it used to be where teams was quitting right after All-Star break because they know they had no chance to win. With the playing, the playing kind of deters teams sort of from at the bottom of the standings from them saying, okay, we're going to give up, because you can still sneak in as what, the 9th or 10th seed
Yeah.
to the play-in. So your 9th and 10th team aren't going to give in because hell, they could win 2 games and be in the playoffs. We almost saw what Atlanta do it to the Heat.
Yeah.
And they were bottomed out. So you never know.
You just never know. And then with Tyrese Maxey, here's something I want to ask you.
Yeah.
All-Star. You think it'll be All-Star this year? Because I see the potential.
Yes. If one, either Harden isn't there, or the Harden we see this year has bought in to allowing Maxey to be the best version of himself, which means he would have to come off the ball more.
Yeah.
If he does that, Maxey's a all-star, because this is really just going to be him and Joel. You don't know what you're going to get from Tobias, even if he's going to be here through the deadline. You don't know. So I think absolutely he could be a all-star this year. Yeah.
For me, one thing is holding him back, and that is James Harden.
Yeah.
I feel like with Harden, if because he was supposed to be an all-star, he took that boot, he didn't make it. So when he was the league leader in assists. So when James Harden has the same kind of season, like, you can make a case. It's just like when Ben Simmons made the All-Star team and Tobias Harris should have made it.
Right.
Like, that's the worst. Ben Simmons made the All-Star team off of 2 weeks and the 1 game against Utah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was it.
Absolutely. 76 is more like the 32ers. Yeah, you about right.
Hey. He's a New Orleans fan. Don't let him. He's a Pelicans fan, a Saints fan.
Oh, everything. Man.
How's Zion doing, buddy?
Yeah, we ain't talking about the Zion Chronicles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We ain't talking about the what is it? The Housewives of New Orleans.
Yeah,
He talking
I'm just
about
telling you, with this whole thing with Zion now, with that woman, him eating, and just like I don't think
yeah. You that whole woman, yeah, she needed a mental evaluation, but that's neither here or there, man. It is what it
yeah,
is.
Zion is doing fun. It's
Yeah,
doing fun. Oh my god.
yeah. That's the problem. He was doing too much fun, but we ain't gonna go there.
Uh,
we
I'm
ain't gonna
not
go
going
there.
into that in the Will Chamberlain thing. No, we'll be
Yeah,
here all freaking day. So all I'm gonna say is, man, thank you for popping on. You and I have been talking about this for a while.
no
I
problem,
mean,
bro.
it's so nice to talk about Sixers who actually knows what they're talking about.
Oh,
Because
no
on
problem.
Twitter, you see it as much as me.
Oh
Like
yeah,
Twitter is insane. I will never forget this. When the Sixers beat the Nets, right? And KD
right.
wasn't playing. I tweeted out if KD played, we would have lost.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah,
what?
they would have
True.
won. Yeah, they would have won. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. To me, it's the crazy part about it. The day after, no, maybe an hour after they lost Game 7. To me, I was at peace.
Yeah.
To me, because I was like, okay, this is
Understandable.
done, right? It's done. But then you saw everyone else on Twitter just going crazy. You know, Embiid is this. Maxi is this. Tobias. Obviously, we can't stand Tobias, but everyone was just like, oh my god, I'm like, man, okay, what are you going to do about it? At the end of the day, we can be mad as fans, not telling fans how to operate or whatever the case may be, but what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And regardless of how we interact and all that, what can you do about it? We're gonna show up on October 24th and be the same fans. So
Since you're in Baltimore, do you ever like make a road trip to Philly for like a Sixers game or something?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I plan on doing it. I plan on doing that this year as well. And then whenever they come down to first, I call it, what is it called? Capital One. I'm
Whose
there.
arena is that?
Yeah.
Whose
Huh?
arena is that?
That's a DC.
Oh,
Yeah, because I'm actually out in Frederick, but
yeah.
it's not too far away. You know what I'm saying? It's like right up 270, and I go see them right in DC. So whenever they're there, that's a dump of arena. Just like FedEx Field is horrible, but that's new. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, man. I do. I from the area from Delaware, so actually I love getting up there to see the people, and enjoying the fans up there. So definitely this year I'm gonna be up there. I'm gonna come up there for an Eagles game as well. So man, I'll
Oh,
be up there.
nice, nice. I go to like 3 Sixers games a year.
Yeah.
I go to like 3 or 4 Sixers. I'm actually going to try to go to one Eagles game, and I haven't been at an Eagles game since like the 4th and 26th.
Oh,
So that was the last time I was at an Eagles game. So,
yeah,
oh my god. I mean, I like watching the games from my house. What's wrong with that?
yeah. And then when the Eagles come down to FedEx, man, I'm like, I hate FedEx because it's like a circle just trying to get up out of there, man. It's like
Right.
you can get out of there. If the game could be over at 4:15, you won't get out of the parking lot until like 8. I'm like, I don't want any parts of that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, man. So thank you for hopping on again. We got to do this again, and let the
absolutely.
people know where they can find you, bro. Twitter,
Hey, man,
YouTube.
you guys, everybody. First, it was an honor to be on Mitch's podcast, man. It was a great time. You can find me at Because I Feel Like It. That's on YouTube. You can find me actually on Twitter as well as my Imagine Life _ is Imagine _ Life 2 on Twitter. You can find me, Black 600 on Instagram as well. I'm on Facebook, Marcus Blackstock. So if any of you guys want to interact with me, man, please hit that subscribe and like to our YouTube channel. Because I Feel Like It. It's out there. Like I said, we just had to start up because we were on a previous channel, but things, we had to take care of that. So I'm looking forward to getting out there discussing, sport or basketball, or basketball, football with you guys, man, and culture and whatever you guys want to talk about, man. We're here. So
Yeah.
signing off, man. We need to
And
see you
this,
again, Mitch.
real quick.
Yeah.
This is a guy who gets Cowboys fans crazy. Like you were telling me, like how everyone blocked you out there exposing the lies.
Yeah, absolutely, man. What's his name? I tell like, look, man, like the guy Cole's Cowboys, man. Like I don't know him personally. He seems like pretty off. Well, he's probably not talking about sports or whatever. He's a cool dude, but it's just a lot of these guys, bro. Like I understand that a lot of them are doing it for the interactions, but it's just sometimes, like you can troll. We all have fun, right? But troll with facts. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of these guys, they get just so wrapped up in just saying crazy stuff. I'm like, you guys are dangerous. That's who's really dangerous, is the folks that are just saying stuff just to be saying it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them get mad at me because of that, but I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna tell you what it is regardless. So
Yeah. So I had this one experience where this Pittsburgh Steelers fan said that Kenny Pickett will be MVP with 10 touchdowns. And I'm like, are we on the same planet?
Sometimes, man, like, but it's guys where, a lot of this stuff on social media, you see it. I don't really react to a whole lot, but when it's just outlandish, that's when I show up, because I'm like, look, man, what the hell are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of these guys that they just want the interactions.
Right. I was just on this Cowboys guy's stream earlier. He was comparing Dak Prescott to Peyton Manning and Warren Moon.
They don't look.
I'm clipping that and putting it on Twitter.
And I know we ain't gonna get we know we on here to talk about, but the thing with Dak, and I'm just leave it at this: Cowboys fans don't even compare him to the 3-time Super Bowl winning championship champion quarterback that they previously had in their own building. They don't compare him. You rarely hear him compare him to Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 or 2, but that's it. So
yeah. All right. On that note, because me and him were bash the Cowboys for like an hour. So make sure you like and subscribe. I'll catch you on tomorrow for Cool Cat Mix and Phillies game. Catch you on tomorrow, and peace. Have a good one, guys.
All right.